Hi everyone. So you join me now after quite an extensive test because we did a bit of light off-roading in the B30e, which is their all-wheel drive model, as well as a long drive all the way here to Safari and Lion Park. Now, here's everything that I think you should know about the B30. Up first, you get plenty of color options and they all look really, really great. Having driven in front and having had most of these in the background, I realized that, damn, they look so good in the rearview mirror. They really, really are so awesome. Now, the design, the shape, the boxiness of it, it's really, really going to draw so much attention, and I think customers are going to love it. In terms of design, I did mention in a previous video, I love the transparent glass effect here in the front between the two headlights. They are joined and it looks so gorgeous. Just check the LEDs. It looks so cute, but also so like mean and aggressive at the same time. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like so perfect. Everything in terms of the design of the front end, I mean, these chunky like curves on the bonnet and everything, it just works so well. Then obviously the gloss black door mirrors, the partial floating roof, it just looks immaculate. I love how they put it together. You even get these chunky door handles like those. Then also like 360-degree camera system, all of the basic ADAS systems, the stuff that everyone's grown accustomed to, you get it in this car. But what makes this one different, being the hybrid, is that yes, you do get battery assistance. And quick specs, the B30e has 301 kilowatts of power and 648 newton meters of torque. That's good for 0 to 100 in under 7 seconds. This thing is awesome, and the torque is, it's so nice. I must say, I'm excited to drive the regular B30 with the 1.5 that has 138 kilowatts of power and 305 newton meters of torque, because I think that one is going to be the one that most people go for because it might be a lot less expensive. But I also don't think this is going to be that expensive. And now, having driven it in a safari park and a bit of off-roading, I can tell you that the suspension is very well tuned. Not only for South African roads, but when you go on the rougher stuff, it handles the bumps nicely. It doesn't fidget, it doesn't crash, it just does it effortlessly and smoothly. I like how heavy the steering wheel is, the feel of it, everything, the drive, the power, the performance. This is something that BAIC is well known for, and something I can always give them credit for in South Africa. Their cars are so well tuned. How the gearbox works with the engine. Everything is smooth, everything is sorted. There hasn't been any issues or complaints with their cars because you don't get a gearbox that just can't make up its mind. It is all so smooth. Now, the regular B30 gets a 7-speed double clutch transmission, and then the hybrid has like a 2-way transmission, I believe is what they call it. So it has the ability to obviously control the engine and the battery system. So this thing is so nice. Before I continue about the interior, let me quickly show you a bit of my driving with the car and what I liked about it. Now, after having driven quite a bit in the new B30e hybrid, I do have to say that the overall driving sensation is so sublime. It's quiet, it's nice, it's robust, it's nice and weighted, and now we're actually going to take it off-road to get a little feel for it out in the wild. Overall material feels inside the cabin, they are also quite robust. Love the dash design, the beautiful displays. Everything about it is perfect. The drive shows that the steering can be quite weighted, but also light in the city. And then how it handles on the highway, it's so smooth, almost no wind noise. It's just such a perfect package. Now, I can't actually wait to go and experience all the different driving modes and stuff, especially if we go out on the dirt now, but I will also then give you a little bit of an impression of that too. And here we go onto the rougher stuff. So now that we're getting into the rougher stuff, we're going to climb this hill here. There is a few dips in the road and stuff. We're going to test the suspension as well as how the gearbox, the 7-speed transmission interacts, but also I've got a nice little selector over here. And I do have, I think, about 5 or 6 driving modes. We have sand, we've got mud, we've got snow, we've got sport, eco, and then the one I'm in currently is sand, because I think it's the most appropriate. There's no off-road mode or setting particularly, but there is definitely the sand option, and that's what we want. Oh, there we go.
Hi, Zoe.
Cutie. Just don't want to crash into her. So, overall first impressions off-roading, now that we've done a bit, the suspension soaks up the bumps. I mean, this road is like very rutted. I'm trying not to go through mud and stuff, so you have to like navigate it perfectly, even though, yeah, we can't really avoid it. We drove past like this major giraffe. I will insert a clip there. It's awesome, it was so cool. And yeah, the overall drive, fabulous. I like it. Look, we're not going to go do off-roading to the extent where we're going to ruin bumpers and curb wheels and stuff. This is light off-roading. But this is the kind of thing you'll do with families, especially in this vehicle. And it does it quite nicely, because now that I can experience the hybrid system a bit better, I can tell you that for the most part we've just been driving on electricity. The engine has not kicked in, and that's why this vehicle is so perfect for this kind of driving. I like the fact that, yes, it's quiet in the nature reserve, and then it can perform when you're out on the road. So yeah, quite the perfect blend, and I know why people like hybrids. And this is such a great option in our market. Then when we look at the cabin, this is the showstopper for me, because every material you touch is soft touch and nice. The leathers on the steering wheel, everything feels so plush. And then how it feels when you're actually driving it is what makes it feel a lot more expensive than it's going to be. Now, we don't know pricing just yet, and once I know, I'll put it in the comments down below. But just check the interior. The seats, the leathers, everything. It is so plush and nice. I did mention that I like the contrast stitching. They are electric. They are heated and cooled. Then when you look at the center console, you can see it has like a floating effect here. So you have some space for extra storage, a wireless charger, this awesome gear selector, which I think just looks so robust and modern and futuristic. This part crystal selector here for your driving modes, some dual cup holders, a 14.6-inch infotainment screen, and a 10.25-inch screen for your digital cluster. And it's super clear, it's super nice, love the colors on it. It's just such a nice and well-built product. No rattles, no squeaks, nothing. Just a solid cabin and a massive panoramic glass sunroof. Now, the door sills are covered by the doors when you're doing the rougher stuff, and you can see you have a nice and wide side step, but when you close the door, it's slightly hidden, so it's a lot more aerodynamic as well. There are some serious clouds and winds on the way, so I am going to quickly have to finish this video up. Let's just quickly check around the back, because the back is, as they say in that one TikTok, stunning. Love the taillight design. It looks so cool and futuristic. And I did mention I love that it's joined by this gloss black strip that runs right across. The overall look of it, it is so boxy, so cool. The wheels are awesome. Love the roof rails. They look nice as well. And you do get an electric tailgate that opens with a little hidden button over there. And it's quite the large boot, quite the large space. Sorry, my camera equipment's right here, but how cool is that? I do like the B30e, because how the hybrid system and the engine work together is sublime. That honestly, you can't really tell when it's switching between the two, and that's what you want in a hybrid. You want it to be effortless. Now, yes, you can hear the engine, and yes, you can kind of experience the silence when it's in pure EV mode, but how they switch between each other is perfection. Now, in terms of pricing, at the end of the evening, we got the full pricing for the B30 and B30e range, and I'm happy to announce that the B30e has a starting price of 639,000 Rand. Yes, that one is called the Elite Adventurer, and then for their top spec Premium Adventurer, it's going to be 689,000 Rand. Isn't that just awesome? Overall, I love the B30e. Can't wait to drive the B30. That will come up in the next video, and then I can give you my impressions of that pure petrol model. But this one is fantastic. So if you are in the market for a hybrid, please consider the BAIC B30, because it's such a great product. It looks sexy, it offers so much, and it's just an overall awesome product. I really struggle to find anything that I dislike about it. It's just too good.